No, I've never been someone shy until I see you right. Till I had to try. Yeah. Oh, let me get my words right and then approach. When I treat you like a man is supposed. You never had to cry. No.
Honorable Prime Minister, Randall Stewart. The Honorable Dennis Kelman, Member of Parliament for St. Lucie. The Honorable Michael Carrington. The Honorable Stephen Blackett and Mrs. Blackett. We have to remember the wives. They are in. The Honorable John Boy. Colleague Patricia Ennis. Miss Patricia Ennis. Colleague Dennis Holder from next door. Colleague Senator Berla de Pisa. Anybody else? Oh, there. The Honorable Deputy Speaker and school friend Kenneth Best. St. Andrew, Kenneth Best. Mr. Best is, Angie, Mr. Best is out there.
I want to see the
Alright, Angie, I will ensure that they stand. I think 90% of Barbados knows that voice. That voice is Angie from Brassac. She's from 8th Hill, St. James. Orange Hill, St. James. Thank you, Angie. I would like to acknowledge my branch members, my chairman, my secretary, my treasurer, all of my branch members who are here this evening. I would wish to acknowledge my family, my mother and my father. My cousin Yvette from England, who I'm seeing for the first time this evening. Welcome, Yvette. My aunties who are somewhere around. My son Fidel. My firstborn. My secondborn is working. We have a business and somebody has to take care of business. So Malcolm is second and the last is taking care of business. And my right hand, my husband Granville. They are who make it possible for me to do what I do every day. And I needed to acknowledge them. I would also wish to give a special thanks to Keisha, because I may not remember at the end. I asked Keisha to do the solo for me. I did not tell Keisha what to sing. But when you are connected and connected to your people and they are connected to you, they understand your experience. And that is a song which I hold very dear. Keisha, you didn't know. You did not know. And everything that you said in that song was very relevant. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And my old school friend Morris Lee, who now preaches the gospel. Thank you so much, Morris, for your contribution this evening. Jack, I would wish to acknowledge now the presence of the Honorable Ronald Jones, Minister of Education. One of my colleagues who is always with me. Always. Jack, I thank you. I didn't know what you would say. I never know what you would say. But I thank you anyway. I thank you. And Auntie Stella, who will do her duties later on. St. Andrew, I am back.
Yeah.
I am back. When I was told, look for another seat. 2 days after the 2008 general election, I was told by a pollster to look for another seat. I was told it could not be any more difficult for me than in St. Andrew. I was told they could not see what I could do next. There wasn't anything I could possibly do to win this seat. They felt I had done it all and I should go elsewhere. And I said no. I said no because every single candidate who would have run since 1991 in St. Andrew left. Every single one left. And to me that was a subtle message to George Payne, or the Payne as we call him, that he was invincible. And I was convinced, committed and determined that I could win this seat. I was convinced and committed to winning this seat, and determined and knowledgeable in the fact that he could not run me. I belong to St. Andrew. I didn't have to buy anybody in St. Andrew. St. Andrew people love me. The mayor, they love me. He bought them. They fear him and he buys them. I didn't have to buy them. They love me. They took 1,400 votes from him. It was a fight, and God knows it was a fight. Keisha knows it was a fight. I lost 15 pounds in that election because I fought back. I fought boundaries which were unfriendly. I fought an environment which really and truly was an environment that most people would have shied away from. As a female, and as Jack said, a female with no money. But I won the love of the people. I have kept the faith with them. They have kept the faith with me. And by God's grace, we are landing in 2030. We will land this seat, St. Andrew. Because when people love you, they do not forsake you. When people don't buy you, they can't sell you. I know I will land this seat, and I am back. You have seen my shirt, and my shirt says, "We've got her back." There are two meanings to that, and those of you who are thinkers will understand what I'm saying. I was a reporter. I was also an editor, and I did headlines. And you always have to do a headline from the story. Not like the ones nowadays who do headlines that don't have any reference to the stories that you read. I was trained to do my headlines, create my headlines from the context of the story and the contents of the story. And my story is that St. Andrew people have my back, and that I am back. And I thank you for that. Now this opening is significant this evening. It's significant because I decided I needed a base in St. Andrew. Now many candidates float around, and when it's time for elections, they have to find a base. My plan was long term. I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I knew I was sticking with St. Andrew. I knew I had work to do, so I needed a base. I moved from Greg Farm, which was owned by Marva Hoy, and I would like to tell all of our members here this evening who don't know, inform you this evening, that Marva passed away 2 weeks ago. She died at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital at 7 a.m. 2 Saturdays ago, actually the Saturday that we were there receiving the gift for Rihanna. Marva has been a tower of strength to my branch. She has always been a tower of strength to the Democratic Labour Party in St. Andrew, and I would expect every single member and supporter of the Democratic Labour Party in St. Andrew to pay their respects to Marva on Monday afternoon at St. Philip the West Anglican Church. She arrived from Boscobel. She married Richard Hoyt, who was from St. Andrew, so she's going back home. And I would wish our members and our supporters to turn out in their numbers to tell Marva goodbye. I rented that house from her. Dennis Lowe before me rented that house from her. He actually resided there for some time. She has always been a Dem to the core. Her daughter, who was here for her funeral, canvassed with me yesterday. She came out and walked with me yesterday because we've been friends since we were 9 years old. In St. Andrew, we are family and we stick together all the time, especially the Dems. We stick together. And Anne came out and she canvassed with me yesterday. So I'm asking that you turn out in your numbers to give the family support on Monday. I changed location to be nearer to my people down here and my home, which is at Walker's Bay. And a lot of people in St. Andrew felt that this was a constituency office. And I would wish tonight to explain to the people that this is what you call a campaign house. The constituency office, which the government of Barbados pays for, and which the government of Barbados pays a representative to man, along with the secretary, is up the hill. The people who are in that constituency house are paid to work for you. This is a campaign house. But when I first started, the first 2 months, I would still see people here, as some of you know. But then I realized I was leaving here some nights at 11. And he leaving his at 7. And he's getting paid to stay in his. And I took information and I worked on behalf of the people for about 2 months till I was told by the then leader that you do not encourage that. Because what happens is the people will get 2 for 1, and then you're not guaranteed the next time what will happen. You have to be wise. And then my current leader described it thus. The Honorable from the Church, I will not forget that terminology. He says what happens there is you buy one and you get one free. Or you bought one and you get one free. And I will never forget that terminology because it makes sense. So this house has remained a campaign house, ladies and gentlemen. I have paid the rent for this house out of my pocket for 4 years with the help of my dad here. Dads are always at your back. I don't downgrade or demerit the contribution of my husband, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Because the amount of money sometimes that I spend, if I didn't have a husband, I would be begging alms. But my dad assists with the utilities. I'm being very frank and open with you so people are very clear. This house stores everything I need for a campaign. And those of you who privately see me understand what else is in that house. Because I have an anti-Olga setup as well, indicating that I understand the conditions of the people whom I work with, live with, and grew up with. And in that house, my stores are there for the elderly, the vulnerable, and my children. And yes, Jack, the rum is there too. But that is the building from whence all of what I do comes. Everything is in there. So I represent unofficially from this house here. I would like to thank the King family for being so accommodating to me. I know that they were offered, yes Michael, you know, big money for this house to get me out. Because it is felt that money can buy everything. But I think they're slowly understanding that money can't buy St. Andrew people who have a conscience and who have integrity. And that is why I have this house today. They were offered cash money above and beyond the value of this property to pull it from under me. But again, I will say, them are family. They stick with you, they refuse the money, and they rent me this house every month, and I make sure, with the help of friends and family, that I pay them every month out of my pocket. For you, the people of St. Andrew, that is my financial commitment, part of it, this house right here. So when he goes about saying, you don't see she at the constituency office, tell him the constituency office is at him and he needs to go and do some work. That this is no constituency office, it's a campaign house for the Dems, and this is what it will be from tonight till the bell rings and onwards. We will fight our battles from this house. I wanted to make that clear. But despite, as I said, my reticence about the 2 for 1 and so on, you buy one, get one free, all of you know I have been working. I never left St. Andrew. I never left. When you cry, you see me crying. When you rejoice, you see me dancing. I have never left because I always felt I belonged. And that is why I will not give up. I did not give up because I felt I belonged. 43 votes lost is a crushing experience. And only those who have felt that pain can understand it. Any of you who have lost anything by a small margin, when you know you have worked yourself to the bone, will understand how I felt the morning of January 16th. And I always remind people when I canvass, remember the morning of January 16th, because I know that 90% of St. Andrew remembers the morning of January 16th when they went to bed feeling they had the woman they wanted and woke up hearing that they had the man they despised. So I remind them, and I'm reminding all of you here tonight, because I know St. Andrew has turned up tonight. St. Andrew, you are here. You are here. Spread the message. And I did the work. I went to Indian Ground and Sedge Pond after speaking with my colleague here, John Boyce, and a road where people had to take off their shoes to go to church and to work. I made sure after 40 years they got that road. That was the first project that I did. I'm a woman to my word. And when I canvassed, I said to them, whether I win or not, I will fight for this road for you. And the first 6 months after the government changed, I had lost, and I got the road done for them. I then moved to the road from Rockland to Highgate. Anybody traversing St. Andrew knows it was one of the worst access roads in Barbados. Again, I went to my colleague John Boyce before he came to my branch, and I got that road done. I, the candidate, after the representative drove up and down for 21 years and couldn't see the need to get it done. I got it done. You go up to White Hill, again, a road that has been slipping every single time the rain falls. My colleague again, John Boyce. Don't mind, I don't give him an easy time. Anybody here will know I don't give John Boyce an easy time. But my colleague John Boyce again heard me. And that road, for the first time, the piece that has always been breaking off was worked on with Gabions, because that's what it wanted. And we had a Minister of Transport Works representing the Constituency. And this minister ensured that the money was voted for us to get those Gabions. And I did that. And the road now has been repaired and you can pass. The buses have to turn around short. You can pass. All those from White Hill say yeah. It is done. I got it done. We have St. Simon's, the birthplace of my paternal grandparents. A road that has not been addressed in 48 years. A road that was slipping in to God knows which gully has started, and it is being done. Yes, he should have, because he has been going up there trying to foment discontent with the people, because whenever road works take place, you will have discontent, because people become impatient, people become irritable, the dust, the bumpy road, things like that. And we had a contractor that probably could have done it a little faster. But the people of St. Simon's understand the big picture. They see the big picture. And they know that that road that has not been done in 48 years will be done. And it will be finished to their liking by Irene Sandiford-Garner. I did that. Jack speaks about the clinic, and I talk about the clinic with a lot of heartache, because that clinic could have been opened a long time ago. It only cost $120,000 in this time, and this is the time that we didn't have it. But my colleague in my ministry heard me, and he budgeted for it. And after 6 years, you can imagine a representative passing up and down and seeing the bush engulfing a building that is of great importance to the children and to the elderly, and would not touch it, would not agitate with Jerome to ensure that it was done. Now I have a hard time sometimes remembering. But you understand who I mean. I don't know if he had a discomfort with interfacing with the individual, because some men do have those kinds of discomforts. But I'm saying for your people, you would do anything that is legal. I'm minding my language, Jack. So I'm saying that that clinic stayed shut for 6 years, and I came, asked for it to be done. The candidate asked for it to be done, and it was repaired at a cost of $120,000, and it was told if it was done 6 years ago, it would have cost about $70,000. And it is now done that the elderly and the young people, the babies, can get their immunizations. People like Jack and my mom and so, who may have had to go to Morrisburg if they have to go up the road, can get up the road and get what they need from our own clinic in Belgium. And as I said yesterday, these are not things that cost millions. These are little things that if you care and you understand your people, you can get them done to make those same people comfortable. They don't cost a bomb, but they have far-reaching effects on the people whom you serve. Little things. And that pain couldn't get that done. And that is why I say it over and over again, St. Andrew has to rid itself completely of that pain. Well, I am the ball carrier. As far as the other work is concerned, those of you who are from down here know that for the past 3 years I've done 11 plus lessons at the Irene School with teachers from my branch who are retired. Some are active teachers, like my cousin Pat, who is here somewhere, who along with her children and her UE studies had a heavy workload, but would make sure every Saturday morning she was at the Irene School to do those lessons for those children with me. And every single year my children got into school, every year, because the agreement was, we know that you're struggling, because many of them would have been given up on by their parents and the teachers, and that is something that I find is an ugly, ugly blot on the educational system in this country, where you give up on children who may not be as fast as you wish them to be as teachers. And they marginalize them. They ignore them. So the results from the school as a whole are not as they should be. Every one of those children receive one-on-one attention. And I told them, I don't care which school you get in, I just want you to get into school. I want you to ensure that your parents don't have to pay to send you anywhere. Get in a school. And the deal is, once all of you get into schools, all of you go on a treat. If one person does not get into school, then none of you go. And every year, all of them, they held each other's hands and they got into schools. Every last one. And I thank all the teachers who are here tonight who did that work with me. I thank you from the bottom of my heart as well. There's one individual I would wish you to remember in your prayers, Mr. Aline, Keith Aline. He managed that program for me. He would have been the one as the most senior teacher who would have set the test papers, who would have given the extra for the program out of his pocket. Mr. Aline is gravely ill at present. And I would wish you to remember him when you pray tonight, and whenever you do pray tomorrow and the next week and the next week till he comes back to us, because he deserves our prayers. Another loyal and committed St. Andrew Den. Every single community program that you experience in this constituency, I initiate. Every one. Every single one. Sporting, educational, all kinds of recreational programs, I initiate. And why? And I would have said it earlier yesterday. I believe that St. Andrew over the past 21 years became divided. When I got married and moved out, we had a St. Andrew Festival Committee. That committee sponsored every single contest that happened in November for St. Andrew, because November 30th is St. Andrew's Day. We had a pageant, we had a calypso competition with only St. Andrew residents taking part. We had a vibrant community where we had these things happening at the center. Over the past 21 years, the committee disintegrated. It only lasted about 5 years actually after 1986, because the individual who then became the member of parliament felt that there were too many Dems in it. I don't know how he knew who was a Dem from who was not, but it became divided and it disintegrated. The community center started to deteriorate at a rapid pace, so then there was nowhere for any group to meet, even if we wanted to form other groups. I decided I wanted to bring St. Andrew back together, because you had a situation with Chalkymore. People didn't like Belle Plaine people. Shorey people didn't want to come up here to anything amongst the Belle Plaine people, and Belle Plaine didn't want to go to Shorey village because Shorey people fight and they don't want to go to Shorey people, and a lot of foolishness. And I come from out the side where the people supposed to fight. Yeah, I come from up there. My grandfather used to guard Barbados Bridge with a garbage stake. And you know, when they talk about the young people in Boscobel asking you to declare where you're going before you can pass, there are things that happen on the underground. My granddad used to guard it with a garbage stake. He and another gentleman and tell state your business. I've been talking about 60 years ago. So the whole situation has morphed into a gang-like situation now. But that was happening ever since. So when the old people talk about the young people, don't mind them. It's just a different incarnation of the same activity. But I come from where the people used to fight, or the citizens fight. So I decided we have to bring them together, and those activities, the sports, the inter-community sports, the road tennis, the kite making workshop, those things have been initiated to bring St. Andrew back together. And why? In Barbados at this time, we understand we are experiencing severe economic challenges. We live in a community where people have land. The majority of people in St. Andrew have land or access to land. They also know by instinct, inherent instinct, how to raise animals. It is an agricultural community. My objective is at some point that when our people start to farm, and our people start to produce, and our potters continue to be creative, that we have a forum where the community comes together, we produce together, and we buy from each other. I am saying that because the idea of looking for a government job has to go now. We have to look at a different way of feeding ourselves and our families. We have to look at avenues to be more independent. Our minister just said earlier, the Honorable Dennis Kelman, that he is going to support the co-ops. The people of St. Andrew have to know that the first set of co-ops has to come from St. Andrew, because we know how to get the job done. When you buy from each other, when you create among each other, you then build a strong community economically. There is no greater joy than waking up every day knowing that you are in charge of your own dollar. That you don't have to wake up, put on a collar and tie, and catch a 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock bus to run to town to sweat for somebody else who decides how much you make. You can make your money at home, and you have to start thinking of making your money at home. This community, this constituency, is the richest constituency when it comes to natural resources. It has some of the best brains in this country. I know that, you know that. There is no reason why the people of St. Andrew have to be cap in hand to anyone. And the individual who has cultivated that mindset has done it deliberately so that he can control you. So that is why he gets angry when you tell him that you are supporting me. Because for 21 years, he has felt that he has owned you. He does not own the people of St. Andrew. The people of the constituency of St. Andrew have to understand they are self-authorized country people who knew how to work hard and who have to learn again they can work hard to feed themselves and their families, and tell him go back where he came from. Send him back. He doesn't care about you. He cares about power and control. Yes. So he will walk around and call himself a mayor. There is nothing worse than a power-hungry sharp man. Nothing worse. No. Read the history books. They tell you about Hitler. Find out how tall he was. There's nothing worse than that person who has that type of a complex. I'm not saying the representative is a Hitler. Never said it. Never said it. But you understand what I am saying. And I want my people in this constituency to wake up and let us move forward. We have the resources, human and otherwise, to be able to move forward economically and show Barbados what we can do. If this community is strong and other communities around us become strong, Barbados becomes strong. It therefore augurs well for our economy. The communities build up the country. And when the communities generate their economic success or their economic sustenance, you then build up your country. So you have to have that mindset, people, and understand that nobody should make you beholden to them. Nobody. I talked about the community programs, and I'm concerned. Every single year, we have young people coming out of school in St. Andrew uncertified. Little people 17, 16 who have no certificate. Last year, I counted 76. This year, I counted 92. 92. Up and down the road, all through St. Andrew. And I'm talking just down here. I'm talking about stats from right through St. Andrew, St. James, St. Thomas, and the little part you call St. Peter. 92. And they're the ones I can track. No certificate, no job. That equals what? And we know that we are seeing the results of it every day. Little people being picked up by the police for whatever reason and being taken up. That concerns me as your representative and represent a future legal representative. It concerns me because it means that our community is going to be undermined. So I have tried in my small way to bring them into the fold. We have people who are targeting them. We're looking to see how we can make them productive. We had a job fair at the Irene School in May, and we invited the representative to the job fair because protocol must always be observed, and I understand that that height needs respect. So I pander to that quality all the time. Every committee in this community panders to that quality. We invite the representative to everything. He comes to nothing. Furthermore, I have a letter in my possession, where he actually insults the members of the committee by saying they are of questionable character. And he does not want any invitation from them because he is not aware of the committee on which they serve. And all he wants from them is a financial statement at the end of the year. I have the letter. I am at a loss as to where this man's mind was going. But I have the letter because I want each and every one of you to visit a lawyer. Each and every one of you on that committee to visit a lawyer. Here we are inviting the representative to take part in something which is supposed to empower the young people and assist them in making themselves self-sufficient and keeping them out of trouble. And you refuse and turn around and lambaste the people who write you to invite you? What kind of mind does that? What kind of mind does that? We had and I wish to thank Minister Steve Blackett for ensuring that I, as a candidate, became very involved in the David Thompson Memorial Football Competition because he understood that the only person looking out for the people in St. Andrew was me. And Minister Steve Blackett made sure I knew what was going on and gave me an opportunity to be a decision maker in the process. And as a result, the decision making earned us the darling team of the David Thompson Memorial Competition. The team of St. Andrew was the most fit team, and it was also the team with the strongest heart. That team exemplified the spirit of the people of St. Andrew. They had lion hearts. They fought down to the very end. Every last one of those men fought down to the very end, and the community supported them. Every time we stepped out from that pasture, St. Andrew moved the buses right through to support those young men. Every one of them made us proud in that competition, and sir, I would wish to thank you for having the confidence to ensure that what we wanted, we received, and what we wanted enabled us to get as far as we reached. Mr. Blackett, I thank you. And it's not over. They'll be going on to BFA. We are now working with them to do that. You can imagine that this is a constituency where we do not have a meeting place, but we have a team. We have no meeting place. None. The Bell Plain Cricket Club has not played a home game in over a year because they cannot bring anybody down here. We have none. If we do anything on the pasture, we have to bring in the latrines and so on and set up the infrastructure, because the individual who represents this constituency didn't think it necessary to give the young people a meeting place. What he did is ensure that a derelict building on the main road of this constituency has become the gathering place for our young people. A derelict building. And to drink, because he means he must control. So he tries to control their minds. And that building has become a base. Can you imagine? Our constituency has come down to that. But I will tell you that my government has given the commitment and has started the work on ensuring that we will get the community center we have so long waited for. So don't mind the history book that he dropped in the houses the other day. He had a history book with his face on it, which he was dropping in the houses, with a list of achievements that would have been done 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Nothing current. The past was documented. Come in. We have the room. We have the garage right there. See if you can fit in. Bring out the chairs. Showers of blessing. Come in, Tracy, man. Come in when you get wet. You are fit, leave. Come in. Come inside, come. There's room. Come in. We have enough chairs that we can do that. Are we going to make some room available inside? We have enough chairs, and that can happen if people might want to sit in so that they can hear. I have enough chat. All right, everybody sheltered. So there's nothing that we have done in this community that your representative has attended. We had football matches. The coach is there. I don't remember how many matches we have, coach. How many matches did we have? The best coach in Barbados, ladies and gentlemen, Dexter Marshall. Brazilian trained, belongs to St. Andrew. Worked right through for St. Andrew. Proud of you, Dexter. How many matches? 6 matches. Your representative attended not one. Not one. Not one. Not one. There is no sort of consideration by the individual for young people. He does not care about the young people except to use them and to control them with foolishness. Foolishness. I wouldn't say what, but nothing positive. Nothing. We also had the situation recently in Orange Hill. Orange Hill, St. James, where after 21 years of representation by the Barbados Labour Party, the candidate from the Democratic Labour Party was able to ensure that the residents of Orange Hill Main Road receive natural gas. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a person who comes from the area, who should know better than this individual, how critical it is to ensure that the homes receive the gas which is just coming from Greg Farm? Never happened. This individual ensured, while we were doing repairs as a government, spending money that we didn't have to ensure that the people of the area are safe because those pipes are rotten. The plastic is done, the iron pipes have corroded, and we could not wait until a disaster happened. We had to look for a good couple $1 million to replace and repair those pipes running from Warren's to Greg's Farm. This government. And knowing the potential for opportunity, as I do, I don't miss an opportunity, I don't sleep. Fox will tell you, I do not sleep on the job. I made sure that I found out if at the time they were digging up the road, if the residents on the main road at least could start to be hooked up. I was told yes, it is being done, and it is done. It is done. People like you, Angie, will have to wait a little bit because the money we probably would have used for expansion, we now have to use for repair. So those who are on the main will get the natural gas. But the ones in the development off from the main will have to wait a little bit longer. But rest assured, once this government is returned to office in 2013, the day after, we will be working, and we will be, then the ifs, ands, or buts, but once we will be, just after we will be, we will ensure that within that time frame, the 5 years extra, we will attach that natural gas to the development. But everything takes time. And what happened in 21 years can't happen in 4. But you're further there than you were before. So we have a plan, we have a vision, and you have to stick with us with that plan and that vision. You cannot abandon our vision. You cannot give up now. And I know for a fact that St. Andrew is not giving up now. St. Andrew feels wronged. They feel as if something did not go right the last time, and they are determined to come back with a vengeance to ensure that wrong things are made right in 2013. I know that for a fact. So I have articulated some of what I have done. I've also articulated my vision, a part of it. I don't want to give away too much. But at least I've come here this evening to tell you how I feel about you, the people of St. Andrew, and what I plan to do for you, the people of St. Andrew, with God's help. You would have seen, as I said, the history paper that was dropped in your homes in the form of an almanac. And I want you, every time you speak about it, because I know a number of you are not happy about it, because you can't even see the dates. Because so much of it has been taken up by writing that the old people are telling me they can't see the days of the year. They're too small. They say he had too big. They can't see nothing. I am not lying. I am not lying. I went in Franklin Dublin and a certain man quarreled telling me that he tell them carry it back. But before they carry it back, he looked at it and he could not see the months. The months small, small, small. The head big, big, big. And then you have writing down every side, underneath, and every part above, telling you what was done. What was done 10 years ago. And then you have a section telling you 10 things you didn't know about your MP. Well, you had an MP for 21 years. And you now have to read what you didn't know about that MP in 21 years. The MP was never your representative. Could not be. Could not be. So all of that is on an almanac, and the poor old people can't see the months nor the days of the year. So when you read that history book, understand, nothing on it is current, nothing on it is relevant, everything on it was done 10 years ago, and there is nothing from that pen telling you what he plans to do for you. Nothing telling you what he plans to do for you as the people of St. Andrew. Tracy, I said come inside. You are not well. Y'all come inside. I do not want y'all to get wet, even though we have the clinic up the road. I know who said it will be open tomorrow. One, yeah? There's nothing in it telling you what is planned for you, because I think he knows that the plan is to get B in 2030 and he can't put that on paper. So ladies and gentlemen, oh yes, I am being reminded. I went to school at the Ada Costa Primary School. I am 51 years old. And for all the years I went to primary school, we had a sound hall where you would have had from Bedford trucks in those days up to today, where you have the Toyota flatbed, what you call it, flatbed, whatever, and the Austins. And every single morning and evening, we had to jump in the gutter for the traffic, because the roads could never take traffic coming up and down. So whenever the trucks were coming, you had to jump in the gutter and take the... I would like to acknowledge the presence of Chris Winkler, Honorable Chris Winkler, Minister of Finance. We had to jump in the gutter and take the exhaust fumes and take the dust from the trucks passing us at top speed for years. I had a mental pledge, I never made it public, that I would wish that at some point Belle Plaine will have sidewalks for those children. We are on the verge of finishing those sidewalks today as we speak for our children. Again, little things that don't cost a lot, but they ensure the safety of the children of St. Andrew. And not only St. Andrew, because you have the Allen School right there. We have up to 800 children coming out on evenings, some going out onto that side of the road to get buses to go the other way. And he could not see that. Your candidate, and I'm not yet where I should be, I saw it. So I'm saying to you tonight, I don't think that you have to ponder very hard. You understand who you have. You understand you have a committed woman. You understand you have a woman of integrity. You understand you have a devoted and determined woman. You understand you have a woman from amongst you who will work for you, who will fight for you. The onus is on you to make sure that she is empowered to do just that. This evening, we kick off officially the fight. The battle lines are drawn. Get on board and let us see how we can rid our community, our parish and our constituency of the pain. The Voltaren is here.